And welcome back to part 5 of What If Naruto Had the Byakugan? Uh, I, I did that out of order. Normally I say welcome back to What If Naruto Had the Byakugan part 5. But anyway, part 5, What If Naruto Had the Byakugan. There's not much to actually address from the comments last week. Most people either accept what was going on or just, had their own ideas. One thing that one person brought up, which is probably true, is that Naruto and Sasuke's relationship, the rivalry, if you were, would probably be a bit stronger because Sasuke would most likely have a little bit more respect for Naruto actually being at least in blood relation to part of a great clan like the Hyuga and having the Byakugan. So their rivalry might be stronger at this point. Therefore, they might be pushing themselves a little harder, so they could both be a little stronger theoretically than they would otherwise. I don't think it'd be anything significant because the team hasn't been assembled for that long. But still, that rivalry could definitely exist at this time. But we left off with the journey to, get Tazuma back to his home, and after dealing with the Demon Brothers, Naruto still got injured. So they drift into town. Naruto's still Naruto, so nearly gives them away. Big difference here, though. As, Naruto is trying to show off, he doesn't just sense where Zabuza is. And I think I pointed out one of the previous videos, Naruto actually was pretty adept at kind of sensing things off just a lot of the time. Because he was the only one who actually sensed someone was there and threw the kunai, and Zabuza had to substitution out of there. Here, though, he sensed someone's there, and even though he's still definitely a little like, someone's following us, I know it. Well, then, if you think that, hold on, Byakugan, and he sees the Chakra signature of Zabuza. Like, he's there, Naruto, and he sees like, wait a minute, what? And then he sees the oh my God, rabbit. Sorry, it's like Naruto, what was that about? Someone was I didn't mean to hurt the rabbit. I'm sorry, but someone was there. They disappeared at the last moment. A substitution jutsu. Where are they now? And Naruto still got his Byakugan. They're there! They sees the sword coming. They all get down. Get down! I have to admit, that's impressive, Brad. I know when you were able to pinpoint me not once, but twice. And then he sees Naruto's eyes are still activated. It's like, so that's it. You're a Hyuga. No wonder you were able to see me. I'm normally good at keeping my present masked, but hiding from those eyes is a tricky endeavor indeed. And Zabuza, the demon. Oh, so you know about me. I know about me. We have a standing order in our bingo book to kill you on sight. Manji formation now. This could get difficult. I'm gonna need this. So I get to see the Sharingan in action. This is an honor. Well, what's with his eye? Now, I imagine when he was explained about the Hyuga, he was briefly explained about the Sharingan too, because, well, they're not two sides of the same coin. They're two very powerful competing dojutsus in the same village. So I imagine he at least had heard of the Sharingan, but he did not, so when Zabuza says it, Naruto remembers Sharingan. I remember the old man telling me about that. And he sees his eye. It's like, whoa! It's the eye of the Uchiha clan. There's a lot more to it. That's right. It can instantly comprehend, copy, and imitate any jutsu it sees. And so, Naruto knows about it. Not much change there. And honestly, at least the initial confrontation with Team 7 and Zabuza goes the same. Kakashi says, go get into Manji formation. And protect the bridge builder. And I'll say this too. I don't know, because we have no real idea of how thick the mist was. I have to believe the mist was also imbued or was also combined with a little bit of chakra. And Zabuza clearly had a decent sized reserve. Zabuza probably had it, because it's a jutsu he brings in the mist, but so there would have to be chakra in there. So I imagine the Byakugan has difficulty with the mist. Maybe I'm retconning this from when I did Hinata on Team 7. Maybe I am. But I'm thinking about it on the fly, not on the fly, but I'm thinking about it in terms of how that jutsu works versus how the Byakugan works. And there are definitely ways to confuse a Byakugan. Even though it's X-ray vision, even though it can see chakra, even though it can see at distances, if you like permeate an area with chakra, all you're seeing is this wall of chakra, and Naruto tries to focus with his eyes, and even though it's probably not like massive amount of chakra, there's chakra within the mist, so he's seeing it kind of like a big blur. Although higher concentrations still staying out, like Kakashi, even though there's mist around Kakashi, he can still see Kakashi, but it's obscured a bit. Naruto realizes I can't see him. It's like crap, and otherwise honestly, this is a lot more difficult for me to see than with my normal eyes right now, so he has to deactivate his Byakugan. And because of that, Zabuza gets in between them, Kakashi stops that, copies the water clone jutsu, I'm not so easy to fool, and traps Kakashi, and then you get the remaining Team 7 against Zabuza. Naruto tries to activate his Byakugan again because he can at least concentrate on one focal point. It's difficult for him to see, though, but he can still see it. And he comes in and he tries to attack Zabuza clones, and he's about to try to, use his, let's call it gentle fist. His gentle fist stomp, but Zabuza just swipes him away, being more experienced. Naruto, again, is just trying to come in at him, attack him, saying, I've fought more than my Sharingan in my day, boy. You really think you're going to be able to catch me off guard with that style of fighting? And he can briefly feel the chakra around Naruto's fist. It's like, wait, that's not a standard style. It just splats him, kicks him away. Oh, you're different. You're probably not. I'm guessing you're not a pureblood. And they wouldn't even take you into the clan, would they? How do you know so much? You think you're the only one with clan politics, boy? The Hyuga's one of your village's most esteemed bloodlines. Of course they'd be strict about who they let in. And so, ultimately, Naruto and Sasuke do their tactic. Demon Windmill Shuriken, Windmill Shower. And ultimately, the fight with Zabuza and Kakashi continues about the same. The difference here is that Naruto wasn't so focused on Zabuza, and the mist was just there that he couldn't see Haku there. So Haku comes, Kakashi takes Zabuza, Kakashi collapses, Kakashi collapses, and they meet back with they meet back at Tazuna's place. Here is where there is definitely some not disparities, but not huge differences, but definitely changes. Kakashi says, well, I can still train you. Naruto, you've grown probably the most. And they go to the water arsenal. They do the tree walking technique. Only for Naruto, it actually says, actually, Kakashi, I can already do this. It's like, really? No, Naruto. Would you mind demonstrating for the rest of it? Oh, sure. Sure. And then he just walks up and just chills there. It's like, yeah, when we found out about the Byakugan, one of the things that Coach stressed was chakra control. So we tried to me and he and I learned how to do a tree walking exercise pretty early on. And Sasuke, son of a, whoa, that's amazing. Sasuke is like, the dweeb's even far ahead of me than is even farther ahead than me. Damn it. And say, interesting. All right, Naruto, you can train on your own for a little while, but you'll also be guarding Tazuna for a while. Why don't you leave a clone here to practice on whatever you want to practice on? It's like, okay, cool. And so he leaves a clone to practice what he needs to practice with. There's another chakra control exercise I could show you anyway. After all, you have very large reserves, it seems, and chakra control seems to be a little difficult. That's true. I can only make one real actual clone. Well, then this exercise will work perfect for you. And so one of the clones, well, and again, Kakashi's basically secretly telling Naruto about the the Shadow Clone secrets. And, he's practicing the tree walking exercise, or water walking exercise. And as we found out, Naruto actually didn't have that much of a difficulty with it once the seal was taken off of his stomach. So I imagine, while it would still definitely take some time for him to get this down, he'd probably get it down without too much difficulty. And so Naruto is protecting the bridge. Ultimately, Sakura is also able to, guard Tazuna. And so they guard him together, and they see the state of the village. And, Sakura's like, we have to help these people. And Naruto's like, yeah, we do. They're like, this is terrible. And so, they eventually get to the point where Sasuke's pissed that he's doing this on his own, and it does motivate him to eventually like reach the top of the tree and get the exercise down. And Naruto eventually gets the water walking down. Unfortunately, we don't really get the interaction with Naruto and Haku here, and this is due to the fact that Naruto, well, I take that back to some degree. Because I forgot to, because with that interaction with Naruto and Haku came after the blow up on Naruto and Inari, and I do definitely still think that happens, because Naruto still had a very similar life to what he had here. He just ended up making some friends earlier on. That's it. So Naruto still blows up on him. He's like, "Look at you, whining and complaining like some sorry little victim. You're nothing but a coward." And so Naruto, F's off. And I actually have to take back what I said, because I realize now that Naruto would probably just be training on his own, water walking, tree walking, maybe just beating up some trees, whatever he needs to do to, get his head in order. By the by, with getting the water walking down, I imagine his chakra control would actually be definitely a fair degree greater now. Enough that he could he'll never be able to mass produce the clone jutsu, not the shadow clone, the clone jutsu. I had him be able to make one of those clones naturally, and now I think I'd be able to. I think it's reasonable to say he could do two now. So Naruto can now do at least two of those clones. He and Haku have their conversation about what's important to him, what they want to protect, and he thinks not just about his friend, but he also thinks about Hinata, even Ko. The old man, like people that are important to him. He does actually have a solid few, and he even likes Team 8, even though Kiba's a bit of a dick. He likes Team 8 too. He thinks of them as legitimate friends. So he is, he's as I understand exactly what I mean. You'll become strong, very strong. Oh, by the way, I'm a boy. Ah! He's ready to hear the Sakura. Oh, that's always a fun gag. It's always a fun gag. So ultimately, Sasuke finds him. It's breakfast, whatever. Now, I do think because of Naruto's nature, he would still be kind of foobarred out for a little bit. Or foobar's the out's not right, or the right term. He'd kind of be just like tired. Like, he's overdone it, so we'll just let him sleep in. They left without me. He still leaves the clones, takes care of the samurai, and because he has the Byakugan, he can just boom, nearly kill him. Nearly. He makes sure not to kill them, but he makes sure to basically to make sure that they're not going to be able to do anything. So when he knocks him out, he also kind of like takes out their wrists, so they can never really hold the sword proper again. Anyway, the bridge fight starts the same, but Naruto, I think one of the things Naruto would be practicing on is working on his Byakugan as well. I should be noting that, because it's something that he knows he needs to really work on. Because while he's got distance, he does not have accuracy. Neji's got accuracy, whereas Hinata had distance. So that was the key difference between the two of them, honestly. He was able to, in combat, he was able to hit chakra points with surgical precision, whereas not so much with Hinata. She could definitely do it, but it just wasn't as easy. And Naruto's even worse in that regard. He's got the greatest distance, but he's probably got the worst finite control. So that's one thing Naruto's been practicing on and trying to focus on, especially knowing that fighting against Zabuza and maybe even Haku, because he remembers there was that other nin, the mist would be there, so he'd have to work on really focusing on control. And so Naruto has his Byakugan on. He still hits Haku, still loudmouth. Number one hyperactive knucklehead ninja is here, believe it! I'd like to fight this boy my way. And he's like, Naruto... Now here, Sasuke, Kakashi doesn't immediately think Naruto can't win, because this Naruto has the Byakugan and is a pretty firm fighter, honestly. But given what he's seen with Haku, it's the little he has seen and the little he could tell about the guy, it is not likely that Naruto could one-on-one theoretically beat Haku. At least not in Kakashi's mind. They're squaring off. And I see. So you also have a bloodline trait, don't you, Naruto? You seem to have one too. You get to make ice. That's pretty cool. Why did you do it though? Why are you helping? You wouldn't understand. I don't have time to explain. And then obviously Sasuke comes in. Is like, I haven't forgotten about you. Not for an instant. Forgive me, Naruto. Our fight will have to wait. It's like, no, Naruto, Sasuke. And so Naruto's still dumb, does sneak in. Look, Naruto is a bit more mature and he's a bit smart. Like I said, I grade him if like 100% maturity is what we need. And in part one in the initial series, he's maybe only like a 5 or a 6. This Naruto's definitely hitting maybe like a 10. Like this Naruto's definitely got a bit more world wariness to him. He's well, maybe not world wariness, but he's got a bit more forethought, a bit more hindsight, and a bit more thinking things through, but he's still Naruto and he's still a kid. This Naruto has definitely not thought everything through. But if I'm out here, plus you, what about is it? Oh yeah, that, and all of a sudden Naruto is like, yeah, and you really, yeah, no, Sasuke. Sasuke tries to melt the ice, doesn't work. It's like you'll have to do it. I only need a lot more heat than that to melt this ice. To which Naruto's like, all of a sudden comes in and just. And just all of a sudden a mirror shatters and Haku's like, what? And, and Haku finally realizes that, yeah, he realized Naruto has the Byakugan. He didn't register that because he didn't realize the Byakugan would actually be able to do that. Because the Byakugan basically sees Chakra and the fighting style of the Byakugan disrupts Chakra. So because there's Chakra in these mirrors, Naruto, by all accounts, should be able to actually very easily. In fact, because Naruto is a bit more of a blunt instrument Hyuga fighter instead of a finesse Hyuga fighter, this is where this would actually be very this would be where Naruto's at a bigger advantage than someone like, say, Hinata or Neji, because he's a lot more straightforward and has a lot more chakra than either of them. He can hit with a lot harder mass and power and shatter a mirror. It's like just only what? It's like you've got nothing but chakra holding these mirrors together. And what exactly do you think my eyes are capable of doing against Chakra? All of a sudden, Shadow Clone Jutsu! And Haku's like, no, I will not let that happen, Naruto. You don't think I'll let that happen. And so he immediately starts taking out the clones. A couple of them are able to just fire off some, chakra and are able to shatter a couple mirrors. Haku's able to reform the mirrors. Besides, like you said, they're fused with my chakra. So naturally, I can reform them. And as I start to reform them, you'd have to destroy the majority of them at one time in order to really keep me at bay. And so Naruto's out. That was good, Naruto. Come on, one more time. All right, fine. And then Shadow Clone Jutsu. It's like, all of a sudden, Naruto, Haku ends up actually flying through. It was like, wait, what? And then when Naruto realizes that he caught on, you didn't just mix you mixed normal clones with these shadow clones. As a couple of mirrors shattered again, but Haku's able to kind of put Naruto and Sasuke down. Naruto's huffing and puffing because he's getting the crap kicked out of him. Sasuke does ultimately unlock his Sharingan, Sharingan, which means I'm not going to be able to fight much longer either. And between him and Naruto, there's no way I'll be able to take them both on. Naruto, unfortunately, has been taking a bigger brunt of this attack, though. And it still ends with results in Sasuke taking the hit, the mortal wound, and dying in Naruto's arms. So I was like, he's still out there, my brother. I won't be able to kill him. Don't let your dreams die. And Naruto, just doo-doo. Is this the first time you watched a friend die? It is the way of ninja. I'm sorry for your loss. Shut up. And then now here's the thing. I don't have any maybe depiction of what a Kyuubi eye Byakugan would look like. Given the fact that it is just, I'm just going to get a picture of Kurama's eye up here real quick for my own edification. I mean, you won't be able to see it, but so I can kind of gauge what Kurama's Naruto eye. Because it's basically like just a slitted red pupil, more or less. That's the eye. Okay. Okay, yeah. So it's like almost like a blood red with a little bit of orange seeping in there. Mostly irises. It looks like it has some like brief line there, and then it's like very much a slit, almost like almost like a diamond shape pupil. So maybe with the Fox Chakra, I'm guessing to combine it with the Byakugan, which we established Naruto's is probably like a light shade of blue. We know Hinata's is a lavender shade. Neji's is mostly a white. And it's really just to distinguish Naruto from and Naruto from other Hyuga, because most Hyugas seem to have like a grayish white color, maybe a cream color. But we know Hina's is a little on the lavender side, so Naruto's will be a little bit on the blue side. So you would get, I guess, a combination of, well, red and blue is purple, but the orange, and I mean, it is a very, very light orange. Like almost not even orange. Like it's almost just straight red, but there's like just it's a little bit different. It's like darker on the edges briefly, depending on what image you're dealing with. But I guess so. I guess it would be like a purple that tapers off only just so slightly into a lighter shade of violet. They have so maybe even going into like a lavender or something like that. But and the fox's eye would be a little bit more prominent than say what the pupils are here that you can kind of see in the image. Let me enlarge the image a little bit. Like you can see the pupil there. But it would be diamond, and it would at least be a little bit more prominent. Like maybe there would be some shade. Maybe I'll try and do some sort of my artistic version of that to some degree. But the shading would probably be it'd be like a darker purple. I guess it'd be like the darkest part of the Byakugan. So yeah, that's what it would look like. Anyway, Naruto's Fox Chakra would be coming off. And at this point, Naruto doesn't need his fighting style to break the mirrors. We already saw he was more than capable of breaking a mirror. So he just smashes through it and beats the living hell out of Haku. Only difference is here is that Naruto actually does channel chakra into his attack and actually like boom, causes one of his Haku's arms to go straight limp. Like he doesn't just hit the chakra point with the Kurama's chakra going in there. He destroys the chakra network right there. Like his arm is done. I mean, he hits the pressure point too. So his arm may eventually be able to be used again, but it's not going to be able to channel chakra ever again unless you get someone like Tsunade to heal it, and even that's no guarantee. Haku's mask is slowly falling, and he ultimately calms down. It's like, it's you? Why did you stop? And Naruto and Haku have their discussion about, being a tool and being what you're worth and all that. I was happy. Please, Naruto, kill me. And still, Naruto, I think, does agree to kill him. Like, there's nothing here that could really change his mind. Unfortunately for Haku, he's down one arm. So being able to stop Kakashi does prove a bit more difficult because he had to catch Naruto's arm and then use the other hand. Here, that's not the case. He's either got to make the hand sign or he's got to catch Naruto's hand. And Naruto with the Byakugan blazing is coming in with the blade. So I think it's like, I'm sorry, Naruto, but I'm not ready to die just yet. And but he has to actually maneuver Naruto out of the way to use it, and then go through the hand sign as quick as freaking possible, and then hope to God he can get in there in time. And I think what ultimately happens, given the timing, is that it does get there and is barely able to save Zabuza, but he doesn't get killed. I think because his time is up. He, instead of getting hit right through the chest and basically his heart, he instead basically gets hit right through the shoulder and more or less gets his arm taken off, and it does still barely hit Zabuza, but it more grazes Zabuza than anything else. It's like, Zabuza! I knew I found a treasure when I found you, boy. It's like, and Kakashi just has to boom. I mean, Kakashi would fight dirty if he had to, I imagine. Maybe kicks Haku in. I don't think he'd kick Haku in the nads, but maybe kicks Haku's legs out from under and he just knocks him straight out and just throws him against the wall as Zabuza's blade comes down. So Haku is knocked out and bleeding out pretty much. But he does come to a little bit. Zabuza, and as he comes to right as Zabuza is actually about to legitimately die. Like Zabuza's arms get taken out. And then you get the, you ever played your hand, Zabuza? I was like, this guy, and Sakura's mourning Sasuke. And Zabuza is looking at it. It looks like we had no quarrel. Are you kidding? Look at him. Look at him. He's there missing an arm bleeding out for you. And all he cares about is still you and your freaking dream. He lived for you. And does that mean if I get struck, I'm going to become like you? Man, that's so wrong. So wrong. I'm not going to quote the exact thing because I can't remember it off the top of my head, but does that mean I'm going to become just like you? Just using abusing me? Man, that's wrong. That's just so wrong. You talk too much, Brett. And Haku, now the big difference here is Haku's still alive. He's bleeding. And Naruto maybe even goes to try to aid him out a little bit, maybe give him some basic first aid. I could see him even using like Hyuga style to maybe stop the flow of blood a little bit. Like I imagine like the gentle fist could be used in the medical fashion because it is used to attack pressure points and everything along those lines. So he's doing the best he can. Obviously he's no medic ninja, but he can at least kind of slow the bleeding down to a little bit. It's like, Naruto, why won't you just let me die? Let me save Zaze. Yeah, not happening here. And not happening here. Now shut up and let me save you. I'm not gonna let a friend die. And Haku was just like surprised, like, but look, we met once before. Like I get it. I understand. Naruto says like, yeah, we can be friends. You guys don't have to die. This doesn't have to go down this way. And Haku just doesn't know how to respond to this. This is just new for him. He's actually got but Zabuza is like, don't worry, we'll help Zabuza. And he still rips into Zabuza, definitely. And he's like, he still gives the spiel, only a slightly different version, because Haku's still there. And he can see Haku just tears in his eye, just worried about him. And this causes Zabuza again to break down. He's like, your words cut deeper than any blade. You see, while he fought you, his heart was breaking too. It was always too kind. He felt sorrow and sadness and compassion. Curse him, I feel them too. And something else. I feel this is the end. Zabuza, and this is different though. He looks at Haku. This is my last it's my last order for you. Live your life, Haku. And you can find purpose beyond. If I give you purpose, then I now give you. Now I give you the. Then my will is for you to find a new purpose. Don't let your dreams die because of just because of one man. Live. That is my order. Do you understand me? And Haku's now breaking into tears, like the man who saved him, his father figure to him, the guy who's spent his entire life trying to, please, is telling him, no, I'm gonna die here. But if you want to follow my order, live and find happiness. And Haku is just heart breaking. He's like, swear to me, swear it, Haku. I swear, Zabuza. Boy, hand me your kunai. And he's like, all right. And then Zabuza goes on that legendary manslaughter suicide mission and just completely wastes these fools. And, wastes Gato as well. He just collapses. Zabuza, it's like, yeah, well, there's one problem. Gato's going, we'll have to raid that village. Come on, Kakashi, you must have just remembered the tale of these guys. Not anymore. He's up too much chakra. Haku was able to at least get up. He's like, I won't let them hurt these people. I swear, even if I have to die. Come on, isn't that against what he said? He said, find a reason to live. This is a reason to live. And so eventually, there's one problem you forgot. Before you got to step foot in our village, you have to go through all of us. Naruto makes shadow clones. Kakashi makes clones. Haku's already, again, he even is able to, coat his senbone in, ice. And it's like, oh, no, thanks, running away. Zabuza, is everything okay? Is it over? Yeah, it's over. Let me see him. And then, obviously, Haku sees Zabuza. Haku, I'm sorry for everything. He's like, no, you saved me. And again, Haku's just crying over his father figure. It's like, Dad, you've been everything to me. You've been my teacher, my mentor, my father. And it's like, and Zabuza, for the first time, feels true pride. Like he's seeing Haku probably more like a circus. Your father, huh? Well, I guess I could have done a lot worse than I could have done a lot worse for us. I'm trying to think of what the sentence structure would be there. And I could have done a lot worse of a son. I could have done a lot worse not for a son. Then I could have done a lot worse than you for a son. And so I was like, oh, cool. And then he just kind of just passes on and just, he mourns Zabuza's death. Everyone mourns Sasuke is alive. And so we cut to basically the end. We went a little long in this, but I felt it was great to get the Zabuza training mission arc off. Now, the question really is just going to become, does Haku go with the Leaf Nin? He's still only got one arm, but we've seen with Sasuke, you can be a supreme badass with just one arm. And Haku still has his Kekkei Genkai, and he's still got one functioning arm, and we know he can do hand signs with one hand. So, by all accounts, he's still a very functioning ninja. And he could even probably get a prosthetic of some kind. Granted, Tsunade's not there, so whatever, you're not going to be able to regrow like his arm. But a prosthetic that maybe he could channel his chakra through isn't out of the question. It's just we're not near the Boruto era of technology where we could definitely get those. But still, a prosthetic of some kind is not out of the realm of possibility. So the question is, does Haku go with the Leaf Nin? And I'm certain they offer it to Haku, and Haku just has to make is just thinking should he protect? Could he stay and protect these people, or should he go with them? It's like maybe these people could use some help too. It's like, look. Well, now that Gato's gone, we shouldn't have any issue. And honestly, it's true. They shouldn't have any issue because they didn't have any issue, as we saw in Shippuden. So, ultimately, it's going to take a lot to explain for the Hokage for this. It's like, oh, come on, Kakashi. It may be, but we can always use, we're always looking to get strong people in the village, aren't we? It's like, that's true. And your bloodline is certainly going to be welcome, Haku. So, I'm sure we can. There's a place for you in the village. I wouldn't want to impose. No. And so before they go, Haku probably does take Zabuza's blade with him. Even though I like the idea of leaving the blade there, I think Haku knows Zabuza would have wanted him to have it. And as far as we know, if he can lift both Zabuza and the blade at the same time without too much difficulty, then he could probably use that blade. Maybe it might be difficult, but he could probably one-arm that blade. I could see, honestly, Haku doing, until he gets an actual prosthetic, maybe creating like a temp jutsu, like an ice arm or a water arm. I doubt a wind arm. That'd be a little too complex. Water and ice can actually be formed. Wind is very, very free-flowing. Although not impossible, it'd just be very difficult. So I imagine like when he's in combat, he could actually form an ice arm or a water arm. Because being an ice user, I don't know if that makes you completely immune to ice, but it does make you resistant to cold. I do know that. So yeah, we have Haku going to the Leaf Village here. And that's where we're going to end part 5. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Went a little long, but I wanted to get the wave arc out of the way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks next time.